Hello, everybody. Dorothy here. I'm going to talk about the full moon in Cancer on January 6th. Now, that's a date, isn't it? Um, this, that date aside, even though that is the date of the full moon, this is a highly sensitive full moon. The moon is really high by declination. That means just where it comes up in the east, how high it is in the sky at night, and where it sets in the west. It's very high, and it is real. That amplifies everything that we're already feeling. The energy around this, let me grab the chart. And I just want everybody to know, especially if you're somebody that's new here, welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you like it. Commenting is wonderful. It's always just me. I will be answering any of your questions or queries or comments that you make. It's only just me. I don't have an assistant. Busy enough, but hey, what I want you to understand too, if you're brand new here, is like, you don't have to know what your zodiac sign is, your sun, your moon, your rising. You do not have to know that to listen to this forecast and to get good quality content from this, because this is true for everybody. The only thing that you need to adjust, if it's even important to you, is the time zone. I am in Eastern Standard Time. So this full moon is January 6th, 6:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just adjust for your own time zone. But I want you to understand, I'm putting this out on January 2nd. So January 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and into the 6th, the moon is in a waxing phase. So the things we're feeling from the time you see this, as long as you see it before the full moon, until we get to that full moon phase, and the full moon phase lasts a couple of days as well, the energy continues to build, and we're building towards the emotion of this full moon in the sign of Cancer. And the energy of that is quite intense, because the moon is in a position in the sky called out of bounds, means when you watch it rise out of the east, and when you go out and check it out every night at the same time, I would love you to do that, because connecting to this makes it more real, because it is real. Astronomy and astrology were one for such a long time, and they're coming back together again now. So I want you to connect with that if it's possible. And you can, anyways, even if you can't physically do that, that's fine too. But just know energetically, emotionally, and especially emotionally, that with the moon in Cancer, its own sign, highly sensitive. Only a few hours before this full moon, it made a square to Chiron. On January 2nd, the sun made a square to Chiron. That's doing that at the time that I'm recording this. And that means that there is sensitivities around family, home, family, etc. How we're approached, how we're connecting to others. Now, it is also quite intense that a few days before, on January 3rd, the moon and Mars are conjunct. I think I have that here. Yes, here it is. The moon and Mars are conjunct on January 3rd. Let's animate this. I wonder if you're seeing this. Let me go to my new share. I am. Here we are. I want you to see this, because this is just really, really important. We're going to go back to January 3rd. There they are. They're up top. So at January 3rd, which is tomorrow from the time of this posting, the moon and Mars are conjunct in Gemini. Now, the moon is waxing. I know it's not the full moon in Cancer yet, but this is what we're building towards. That's why I wanted to talk about it, not just the full moon. I want to talk about now, as we're moving towards that, as the moon is waxing and getting brighter and brighter, our emotions are building and building. And so we can see over here in this measurement, over here where my mouse is, hopefully you can see it, the moon and Mars are in the same place by declination. That's just a separate measurement. And they're right here together by the actual conjunction. And it is creating, this is the gibbous lunar phase as well, Mars retrograde in Gemini. The ruler of Gemini is Mercury. It's also retrograde. We have we can bring up some old wounds, can come to the surface, whether somebody who says something to you, that's the Gemini energy that's strong, and the Mercury retrograde, somebody says something to you, it could trigger old emotions that come to the surface, or vice versa. You could say something that triggers others, and you might not even understand, well, why are they being so emotional? That's not how I meant it. This is the environment that we are all in right now from January 2nd and the 3rd. I would really wiggle it into the 3rd, but January 2nd, January 3rd. The 2nd, I say that's not about the full moon, it's about the sun squaring Chiron. So January 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and then a couple of days after that, the sensitivities of who we are, what we're saying, and what's coming to the surface is due to this Cancer full moon. It's due to Mars and the moon conjunct in Gemini and out of bounds on January 3rd. And we're in that gibbous lunar phase. So that means, the moon and the energy of the moon is just continuing to expand. When the moon's in Gemini, that's the sign it's in right now before it is full. The energy of this is, emotionally, I need to talk things out. So boy, put some like real soft, comforting energy around yourself, around your family, around those that you love, because this is very sensitive energy. It is highly sensitive. And that starts right now, as soon as I get to post this on January 2nd. The feelings that we're feeling, the words that come out of our mouths, what other people say to us, really difficult for some of us. And other people will use this energy in a sense that you're very loving, you're very kind, you're understanding, you're here to help others move through the emotions that they are experiencing. There's always many, many ways that we use these aspects. And those are some of the things that we get to work with, excuse me, with this full moon in the sign of Gemini. Now, I didn't mean to stop my share, but let's pull that back up. Okay, so I want us to hone in on that and focus in on that. Now, something else that is part of the full moon, and it's just within a few hours, the moon will sextile Uranus and make a trine aspect to Neptune. Now, that's pretty cool too, because when the moon makes this sextile to Uranus within a couple hours of the full moon, that is like, if you have been able to spend some time or just be observant, you can have these amazing moments of receiving new ideas and new information. And that's wonderful too, because with the moon in Cancer, nice water energy, as an applying aspect to Neptune in Pisces, I want you to be creative. And then even the sun is sextile Neptune. And those three signs, water, and earth, are all the receptive signs. They're yin, so they're receptive. So what we can do with this full moon, while it can be very emotional on one level, there is also an awareness around how you feel, what your security is, sun in Capricorn. Are things flowing the way you want them to? If not, let's be open to something new and unexpected, because again, earth and water signs are the yin energy. Okay, that's receptive. And so again, moon in Cancer, water, sextile Uranus in Taurus, excuse me, earth, trine Neptune, right? In Pisces, that's water, yin. And then the sun is in Capricorn. There we go. That brings that to, and as well, it's connected there. All these guys are connected. It is just so fantastic. Let me just clear that out. That makes a mess. I like to be neat. So there's a lot going on here. I want you to focus on that. I have more in the blog, and I have more about the lunar gestation cycle over on Patreon. That's where you get even more additional content. Would love you to come over there and support me if you would like. There is it's a membership thing. I'm going to stop my share, but I wanted to share that full moon energy with you guys. Thank you so much. And I will leave us with that. And anything else? No, blessings. Namaste.